Hey, my name is Sean. Welcome to Echoes in Eternity Bourbon. Have you ever just been super excited about a gift?
I love this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it. Let's do it.
This job is definitely not worth.
So today I got a gift. Came in FedEx. It's a first, and you always remember your first on things. Your first bike ride, your first time going to 7-Eleven without your parents, first time you kiss a girl in school you like, your first love, your first time going to Waffle House after being out past 3 a.m., little things like that. But I became media. Exciting day. So what I've got here is a media sample kit. And I'm going to open it up and see what we got. And let's see what I can expect out of it. So looking forward to this. Thank you. This actually came from Barrel Company. Thank you very much for this. Looking forward to this. Of course, it's got the cool little thing on here, must be 21, check ID. So they did all that. It went into a FedEx place where they had to make sure that, I am 21 and all that good stuff. But this is the first media kit I've ever received. And I'm hoping it's not the last, but I'm sure depending on how I do here, it may be the last if anybody else ever sees this, but we will see. So, comes in with 2 different barrel bourbons, or I think one's a bourbon and one might be a rye. And don't see a lot of anything else in there. So, very cool. No real specific instructions on here. This was just basically let us know what you think about this. And I think I'm right the person for that. I like to let people know what I think about things. So let's see what we got here. So this is a barrel rye, batch 4, 5.5 years, 115.7 proof. Let's see what we got. Any notes on this? 10-year-old Indiana rye barrels with notes of brown sugar, touch of smoke. Had 4- and 6-year-old barrels layered in with fruit, spice, character. 14-year-old Canadian barrels were added with their dry herbal notes. The result is fruit-forward rye with layers of depth. And it says on the back that this is a tax-paid sample not for resale, and all the obligatory things about, it can cause issues with pregnancy and don't drink and drive and stuff. Very cool. I don't know if you guys saw one of my other videos with Barrel. I am in love with one of their ryes right now. It's coming in like 135 proof. It's a 14-year Canadian rye. Just phenomenal. Absolutely loved it. So I'm very excited about this because this has got some Canadian rye in it as well. And this is a barrel bourbon, batch 35, 6 years, 117.5 proof. These are both 100 milliliters, which is awesome. It says distilled in Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee. And this one was Kentucky, Indiana, Tennessee, and Canada. We selected and marked these bourbon barrels to bring out their best characteristics bottled at cask strength so you can experience the true flavor of our blend. Absolutely love this. I love stuff that's in that 110 to 125 proof. So let's see what we got to get this bad boy open. Looks like there's some tape on here. Help prevent this thing from opening up as you go. Lock my fingers into place, I'll be okay. See this other one here, get it opened up. So electrician's tape has many purposes, I see. Very cool. And as you can see, I've got my Dolphins cup over here. Almost made a movie magic moment, but we're going to go ahead and we'll do the bourbon on the left and we'll do the rye on the right. My left and my right. So this will be the bourbon. And this might be my first barrel bourbon that I've done. I've done their rye, and I really, really like their rye, so I'm excited about their rye. And both these are improved points that I like. I think that these will be outstanding. God, man, I can smell that right off the rip. That smells really nice. All right, get these over here. Cleanse the palate a little bit. So let's see what I'm getting off the nose on this right off the bat. Let it swirl up for a little bit. Nice viscosity on this right off the bat. Just thick fingers streaming down on this one. So I get kind of a caramel note on this. Get a little bit of oak on this. I'm getting some kind of fruit. I'm just trying to figure out what kind of fruit I'm getting on here. Getting a little bit of a raisin on this. I kind of like this. A little bit of maybe a honey on it too. Caramel, honey, raisin, some oak. Getting a little bit of vanilla in there now. Let's get in for a sip and see what we've got. And then this is the bourbon from barrel bourbon. First thing I'll say is exceptional mouthfeel. If it's not burning me up, I'm getting a little bit of spice on the back, a little bit of dryness on the oak on the back, a little bit of a hug in the chest at 117 proof, but it's got very nice sweetness to it, but not overpoweringly sweet. And I know I tend to like my bourbon sweet. This must have some rye content in it as a secondary grain, because I am getting some of the pepperiness. I'm getting a little bit of that, the rye notes to it as well. They didn't specify what's in there, but I'm really liking this. So I'm getting some more fruit in there. It's almost like a little bit of a peach in there. Almost kind of like that underripe peach, but still got a real nice peach smell to it, but not overpowering. I'm getting nice deep caramel on there. Kind of getting a little bit of this mellowness on the back. It's almost like a creamy mellowness that's going on with there. There's a little bit of that peach note in the back there too. I'm getting really nice, like I said, I'm getting some of the rye spice, getting some of the oak in there. I'm getting a little bit of caramel, a little bit of peach. A lot of nice things with this. I'd say it's got about a medium finish, but it's just super smooth. Great mouthfeel on it. I'm not sure what the price on these are, but if I'm saying, would I buy a bottle of this? Yeah, I would buy a bottle of this. Now, if it's $200, I wouldn't probably buy a bottle of this. But if it's in that, $80 to $100 range, I could see myself buying a bottle of this. There's just something about the mouthfeel that I really, really like on this. And if anybody's had any of this batch 35, let me know what your thoughts are. Like I said, I don't know what batches they were sending in until I pulled them out and see what we got. And it's not in any way over oaked, but it doesn't taste super youthful. This has just got a smooth, creamy, caramel, fruity, a little bit of rice spice, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of oak on the back. Very good bourbon. Definitely enjoy the bourbon. Now I'm wondering how much I'm going to like the rye. All right. So the Ghost liked me so much, It stopped me at the bourbon, and I need to redo the rye, but that is okay. On the first take, I had some interesting thoughts on the rye, so let's see what we get on the second take on this. Let's fill it up a little more. So, this is the barrel rye, batch 04, 115.7 proof. And I've really liked some of the barrel ryes that I've had. I've got one that's a 14-year Canadian rye, which I think is outstanding, coming in 135 proof. So ryes have really been in my wheelhouse lately. The one thing I see in both of these barrel products, exceptional viscosity. I mean, just streaming, just fingers of oil down the sides of these. First one had a phenomenal mouthfeel. Let's see if this one's got it. So I'm getting, on this nose I had some honey. I'm getting some honey again. Getting some spearmint on this. Getting some of the rye spice on this, but not overpowering. Not getting a whole lot of ethanol on there. Getting some herbal notes in here, so it's got a very nice nose. It's not an overpowering nose. It's just a nice light bouquet of things. Let's get in and see what this rye has to offer. So right off the bat, super nice mouthfeel on it. Getting a little bit of the spearmint now. Now that the spearmit's starting to ramp up a little bit, liking that. Getting some of the herbal, some of the honey up front, and getting a little bit of licorice. I like licorice, so this is a good thing for me. Definitely liking this. Some things have an herbal quality that's so ramped up that it's more medicinal, and I don't like it. But this is a nice balance of having that herbal quality to it. Like I had a Four Roses the other day that the herbal notes were so strong and they came back up that it was just like, man, it had this thing I didn't like. Even though I thought the mouthfeel, it drank under proof, the herbal quality to it was just so much. It was like I was drinking some medicine a little bit. Yeah, this has very nice balance to it. It's not an overpoweringly spicy rye. I'm not getting a whole lot of chocolates like you get in some other ryes on this, but I'm getting the rye spice, I'm getting a little bit of the pepper, I'm getting some of the honey, getting the spearmint, getting the licorice. Very nice mouthfeel to this. This is something that I could drink again and again. I'm not sure what the price point on either of these would be, but these are bottles that I could see myself buying. If any of you have if any of you have drank the barrel bourbon batch 35 or the barrel rye batch 4, if you can give me some of your thoughts on these, this is my second go around on the rye, definitely liking the rye on it. It kind of reminds me of some of the different ryes when you get a more decadent rye, where it's just not blistering with a lot of rye spice and pepper, but the pepper and the rye spice kind of complement some of the other things that are going on. Getting the finest hint kind of like a leather on this too. So there's a lot of neat things that are going on with these. Both of these, I would say that they're very good products. And I'm very glad that these are good products, because I'd hate to get my first media kit and go, these suck. But that's not the case. These have both been very good pours, something that I would be glad to have in my glass if I was to serve to somebody else or went to somebody else's house and they poured me this. I think that these are both buys. As long as they're not $200 a bottle, I would say that these are both buys. If these are in that $60 to $100, I would say that these would be something that would be interesting to have if you like some of the different notes that I've kind of given off and what I've said. And if you found that you've tried things that I've tried and pulled some of those same notes or found some of those same things. Because we all taste things a little bit differently. But big fan of the rye, Bourbon I thought was outstanding. Yeah, that rye was really, really good and super smooth. Both of these I would say drank under proof. I would say they probably drank about 100 proof, so 15 to 17 points under their proof. Very good products. So thankful for Barrel to send me these samples. Very happy to do this, and I'm glad that they were good, because I would hate to get my first media sample and say, gosh, these are horrible. But no, they were both very good. Like I said, I would serve these to a guest, and that means that I think that they're good enough that, you know, when you have someone at your house, you want to give a gift to somebody, you want to make sure it's something worth giving. And I find both of these is something worth giving. But I hope you all have an amazing day. God bless, and thank you.